Hello, hello, it's Simone, and I'm here today with my first project for May, for April Lily, and we are working with the Carta Bella Flora No. 1 collection. And I have thought of something else. I'm not going to do a layout now. I will do at least one for my second project, but today I have a blank, it's not blank, but an uncovered traveler's notebook that I want to cover with some of the beautiful papers. And yeah, I just want to show you this one. I covered this one with some of the papers from the Dear Lizzie collection from March, I think. Yes. So I just used that black paper. I just glued it down, added a journaling card, and then fuzzy cut some of the houses and used some washi tape, and my cover was done. I already picked the paper I want to use for my cover. I really like the small floral print on this. It is the Petunia Patch Garland paper. And then I also like this journaling card that says be silly, be honest, be kind, from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And I want to incorporate that. And then I also brought out this stamp. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll just stamp on the front. I don't know. I just thought this might be a good idea to maybe add some pattern to that book. What I also have is, this is where I just quickly put the die cuts from the kit in, and maybe I might use some of them for the cover. So I will put you on fast forward and we'll see how this goes. So I am just taking the pattern paper and roughly measuring the height of the notebook. I don't really care if it's a little bit too short. Sometimes that's actually better than being a little bit too long. So I'll just place it on the scrapbook paper, use a pencil and mark the height. Then I'm going to use my paper trimmer and just trim down the paper. And then I am also measuring the front and the back. I'm not going to wrap my book in the pattern paper because I have found that having two pieces of paper makes the book more accessible. When I wrap it around the notebook as a whole, and I stick it to the spine, it bends, and then the paper tries to go apart. That's just because it's a rounded edge. And so by placing two pieces to the front and to the back, I can still just open and close my notebook very easy. And then I usually just use some washi tape to cover up the spine. And if the washi tape doesn't stick very well, I might use some Scotch tape to stick it onto the spine. This way it is more flexible. And this is actually, you could even cut it a little bit shorter, but as long as there is enough room for the book to open and both of the pieces don't meet when you open the book, it's okay. So it is a very narrow gap, but it works. And then since the corners of this insert are rounded, I'll just take my scissors and trim the paper down. And then actually you could just stop here and be done. This is absolutely and totally simple. There is no magic to this. So I went into my stash of washi tapes and just picked one that I thought would go well with the paper. It is not a perfect color match, but I really like that it is a very green
greenish mint color, and that just, it complements the pink pattern paper very well. So covering the spine with washi is the next step, and then I'm going to look for embellishments, and you can see that here it opens and what do you call it? It makes ruffles to the spine, so you really need to be careful that you don't cover this up with too much bulk. So I decided I would try and use this stamp, and it is an acrylic stamp. And that was so, the cover of that stamp just curled up completely. So I'm going to use my StazOn. I could actually use whatever stamp I wanted. I didn't really mind if it bled through, but since my old, I have two StazOn inks, my old and my StazOn ink is very dry and not very juicy, it really works well and not bleeds and doesn't bleed through. So I just inked up part of the stamp and put it underneath the bullet journal title that was already printed in the journal. And then I actually had a not so very good impression, but I really, really like the way it turned out. It has it doesn't have any really bad edges. It looks like it's supposed to be there, and that's what I really like about it. So then I went back to the cover, to the front of the book, and I really keep it very simple. I just cut out the journaling card and put glue on the back, and I really use a lot of double-sided adhesive because I will use this for a long time, and if it doesn't really stick well, it will fall off eventually. So now I'm thinking about maybe adding a horizontal line to the bottom of this, and then I see, oh yeah, I could put some frames underneath. Oh no. The circles are too small. I don't really like the way they look, and then I find this circle and I think, oh wow, that would really go well underneath on the floral stamp set. Maybe this tab could go there because it says notes. And yeah, I'm just looking through what I have, and then I find these tags or flags, and I really like that flag up there, but I think it should have been, I think it's too far away. I can't really explain why I don't like it, but it doesn't, now I think it looks okay, but when I made it, I didn't really like the way it looked on that. So I play around a little bit with all the things that I have here, and then I decide, oh, maybe that circle would go down here. But yeah, and then I come back with the flag and decide that I won't use the pink one because it doesn't stand out from the busy pink, very similarly colored pink background. And so I'm taking that softer striped one, I cut it down a bit because I think it's too long, and then I use that one and put it down here and add one of those circle hearts on top, and then I call it good, and I'm going to work on the inside. And you know that I'm not always very minimal, but I like it minimal. So if I have the chance to do minimal things, I will. And so I'm just going to add, I probably, if I was very, very minimal, I would have just placed that circle there and be done. But then I think I want to repeat that flag, and then I add in some more of that mint washi to cover up the edge of the, what is it? Yeah, if I place the sticker slightly off center, then the side of the flag will be showing. So I don't like that. So I need to figure out a way to cover that up. I'm pulling out my skinny washi, and then adding another strip of washi on top of the mint one, and then I'm placing down my circle, and then I'm done. I really think this collection would lend itself beautifully to set up a whole traveler's notebook with all of the pattern papers and die cuts and journaling cards. The collection is 20% off in the April Lily shop for the whole month of May. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!